How's everybody doing out there in Radio Land? This is Pete Richter, the old retired Baltimore City foot cop, coming to you live and direct up here in lovely downtown Westminster, Maryland. And this show's brought to you by Liberty Works Radio Network. And if you want to give me a call, here's the number: 410-848-9191. 410-848-9191. I want some state police to call me. I want some judges to call me. I want some state's attorneys to call me. Because I'm going to tell you about the other side of the badge. The other side of the badge is what nobody wants to talk about, but I'm talking about it. And like I say, any state police, city police, county police, FBI, anybody wants to call me up and challenge me to what I'm saying, feel free. 410-848-9191. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I'm going to tell you a couple true stories here today. Got a call from a friend of mine the other night. And this friend's in his 40s. He's a Christian man. He doesn't drink. He works all the time. And he happens to work in Baltimore City in a neighborhood that's middle to lower class, mixed racially, and he's got a warehouse that he works out of in this area. So 8:30 at night, he decides that he's going to get a lottery ticket. And he doesn't drink, but the liquor store has the lottery tickets. So he walks a half a block, locks his building up, walks a half a block, gets a lottery ticket. And you gotta play to win, is what they say. But yeah, if you don't get the ticket, you can't win. So anyway, he gets a lottery ticket, comes outside, decides he's going to walk around the block for exercise. Instead of just going straight back a half a block, he's going to go around the block, get himself, a little bit of exercise. And he runs into a fellow that's got a conversation with a fellow on the street about the guy's dog. Talks to another person, just 30 seconds, minutes, something like that, and he's just walking. So he's walking down the street, heading back to work, and Baltimore, if you're not in Baltimore, Baltimore has row houses. That's your house is stuck to the guy next door's house, and you'll have a whole row of them, a whole block of houses all stuck together. They call them row houses. I think they call them townhouses where the rich people live, but in Baltimore City we just call them row houses. And anyway, he's walking down alongside, on the sidewalk on the street with row houses. When, as he's approaching a house, there's some people outside. They hustle into their house. So he don't pay no attention to that. Just then, here comes the unmarked police car with 2 uniformed cops in it. They come on the wrong side of the street, at an angle, and boom, to stop this friend of mine's movement. And right away, just like Broward County policewomen you see on television, they got to be tough guys. They can't talk to you like you're a human being. They got to be tough guys. Where you going? What you doing? Let me see your ID. What are you doing in this neighborhood? Blah, blah, blah. My friend says, what did I do wrong? Cop says, what, are you giving me a hard time? I'll get out of this car and smash your face in. I'm going to get out of this car and smash your face in. So my buddy, he gets a little nervous with this, man. He's going to get away from these 2 idiots. And as he does, as he tries to get away from them, they tackle him, hold him down on the ground, handcuff him behind his back, stand him up, and unbuckle his pants in the front. I don't know what they're looking for, but that must be a new technique. So he's handcuffed behind his back, and he's got to hold his pants up in the back with the belt in the back to keep him from falling there, because they got his pants unbuckled in the front. They hold him for an hour, interrogating him. Now, he hasn't committed any crime. He hasn't done anything wrong. He's not suspect of anything. The only thing about him is he might look a little bit different than some of the people in that neighborhood. There's a lot of poor people over there, My man's always neat and clean, and his pants are always pressed and everything. He's a straight shooting, clean cut guy. Cop goes over to the gutter, reaches down, and comes up with what he says is a crack vial. He says, "You were standing over there. I can lock you up for this. This might be yours. I can arrest you. You're going to tell me what I want to know," and all this for like an hour. So finally, my man's telling him, I work here. He's telling them, but they don't want to hear that. They want to get him for something. So anyway, the moral of this story is they take his cell phone and they call his boss, the man that owns the company. And the man that owns the company says, "We got a warehouse right there. We buy our lottery tickets at the store there. This man's been working for me for 25 years. We don't have no problems. He's a good guy." So after an hour being disgraced by the police and threatened to be punched in the face and threatened to going to put drugs on you, they let him go. So I told my buddy, I says, "Man, we got to make a complaint. I'll go with you. We'll take the video camera. We'll go down. We won't go to the police. We'll go to the state's attorney's office and file a complaint on him." Well, my man watched a video that's, I guess it's on YouTube, called The Largest Street Gang in America. The Largest Street Gang in America. And it's put out by an outfit called Boiling Frog. So the video is Largest Street Gang in America, and the outfit that made the video is called Boiling Frog. So you got an internet and a computer, take a look at that, and you'll see why my man is afraid to go make a complaint to the police. And on this Boiling Frog video, the Largest Street Gang in America, what they're referring to is the cops as a street gang, and they show you a bunch of videos that of police going crazy, beating people up, lying, and everything else. And then there's a section on this tape video that shows retired cops and off-duty cops out of their area going to police stations and sheriff offices and county police stations asking a simple question: "Can I have a form to fill out so I can make a complaint on a policeman?" Now, that seems like a logical question to me. Well, if you go to these police stations on this video, you'll see you're the suspect. All of a sudden, they're going to get you. We don't have a form. You got to tell me what happened first, and all this baloney. They even arrested these retired cops and these, active police, asking this question. They arrested them. And if you watch this video, I mean, it'll send a little chill up your spine. You're going to go in to see the police, to make a complaint about a bad one, and you're going to get locked up. Unbelievable. This is supposed to be the United States. This stuff ain't supposed to happen. But we all know it does. Well, let me tell you my true story now. It just happened the other night. It's unbelievable. If you go to Annapolis, Maryland, they have town cops, and they have the Anne Arundel County Police. And I've got three great videos. What I'm telling you about, what I'm going to be telling you about, I've got videos on this, and they're on the YouTube. Now, I'm not a computer guy, but I figured out how to do this. Go to the YouTube. One word, Pete Richter Videos. One word, Pete Richter Videos, and Richter's spelled R-I-C-H-T-E-R. R-I-C-H-T-E-R. Pete Richter Videos on the YouTube. And I'll take these shows that I do here, and I film myself with a camera, and I put them on this YouTube also. So when you look at the videos that I have up there, the ones where I'm not on is the ones you want to look at. And I've got them worded, basically what's happening. I had a mall guard in Annapolis try to steal my video camera from me, brushed by me, lunged into my vehicle, tried to steal my camera. And I made a complaint with the video. They wouldn't even charge the guy. Then I got another video on there with these Anne Arundel County cops and the mall guards a year later trying to get me to do something so they could lock me up. And it's all on film. They look like total jerks. And you can't make a complaint against these guys because you got to go to the police to make a complaint about a police. And they don't want to hear it. So, and don't go to the state's attorneys. Don't go to the grand jury. All this is controlled these days by bad guys. Not that each and every case they're bad guys. What you'll find when you start standing up against the government or the police or anybody in authority is that 95% of the time, 97% of the time, they do the right thing. They do the right thing. It's just like that judge up there in Pennsylvania that was involved with that boy that committed suicide because the judge put him in jail when he shouldn't have been in jail, ruined his senior year in school and everything else. I guarantee if you check that judge's record, most of the time he did the right thing. But when it's time to do the wrong thing, they don't have any problems finding these bad judges, cops, or state's attorneys to do it. But I was on the telephone the other night, and I'm talking to retired, decorated, homicide, Baltimore City Police Department, Bobby Berger. And I pull up to the bank, which is across the street from this Annapolis Mall. You don't want to go in there with them crazy guards they got. And the police from Anne Arundel County work at the mall as security guards. It's just unbelievable what goes on. So it's 11:30 at night. I'm on a night schedule. And I'm going to go to the bank in Annapolis, and I'm on the phone with Bobby Berger. So I'll pull onto this bank lot, and it's a good-sized lot. It's a rectangle, about a city block long and a half a city block wide. And the bank building is kind of like in the middle. So I pull onto the lot, and I stop my car, leave my headlights on, and I put it in park because I don't want to do my banking and be talking on the phone at the same time. You know, my plan was I'm going to be off the phone here 2-3 minutes, and that'll be it. So as I'm sitting in my car, there's a business next door called Fuddruckers. I've never been in there, but I think they sell ice cream. And the place is closed, and there's one car on the lot. So here comes Anne Arundel County Police up. Pulls up in front of Fuddruckers, and he's facing me. Now, he's a good 80 yards from me or so. Good distance away, easy. And he gets out of his police car, opens the door, leaves it open. Goes over to Fuddruckers. The front door opens up. He talks to somebody for about 30 seconds. He goes back to his police car when another cop shows up from Anne Arundel County. And they're facing opposite ways over there. So now both of them go over to the door. Same thing happens. And they're going in a minute. So I'm telling Bobby Berger, I said, watch them come after me. You can't be out at night in a vehicle in the United States and be near a cop where you're not a suspect. If you're in a car and the sun's down, you're a suspect. If you're in a car in a certain neighborhood and your car looks a certain way, you're a suspect. So I'm the suspect here because I'm sitting in the car. Well, the first one leaves in a hurry. Must have been a sale at the donut shop. But the second one to leave was the first one to show up, and he comes over, gets behind me, and lights me up. Blue lights, red lights, spotlights, and here I am just sitting on the lot here. So we'll take a little break here, get a coffee, and I'll continue this story when we come back. Pete Richter here. Pete Richter coming back here, the old retired cop from Baltimore. Give me a call, 410-848-9191. I want some police to call me up. Challenge what I'm saying. State's attorneys, judges, call me. And especially Officer Mike Cooper down in Anne Arundel County, because you're the one I'm talking about. So let me continue this story. I'm sitting on a lot talking to my man Bobby Berger. Headlights on. I'm a good 70 feet from the building. when the cops got to come over and light me up. And when I say light me up, I mean the spotlights on the car, all the blue lights, the whole 9 yards. And I got Bobby Berger on the phone, and now my video camera comes on. And if you want to see this video, go to that YouTube and look up Pete Richter videos. Pete Richter videos on the YouTube, and Richter is Richter, and you'll see these videos that I'm talking about. So here comes the cop up, and first thing out of his mouth is an interrogation question. Do you work here? I said, no. Are you waiting for someone? I says, no. I'm on the phone. I'm going to use the bank machine. Well, you're suspicious. Suspicious of what? He says, bank holdup men come to these banks at night and case them so they can rob them the next day. So I tell Dudley Do right here, I said, I can come by here in the daytime, take a picture of the bank, and study it all night long. I don't need bank holdup men ain't going to sit out here. What I should have said to him was, tell me about the last bank holdup man you locked up. And I guarantee he's never locked one up. I have. So anyway, Bobby Berger, like I say, he's on the phone with me. And you'll hear me talking to Bobby, but you won't, hear him talking because I had my, Bluetooth on there blinking blue. And the cops don't want you to drive and talk on the phone. Well, you can't pull over on the side and talk on the phone, especially down Queen Anne's County where I live. They'll come up and harass you right away. What are you doing? I'm on the phone. Who you talking to? All this crazy stuff. And before I get back to this story, I'm down on Route 8 one night, and I'm talking to a fellow that works for me. And he's a retired state policeman, and he's also a Baptist preacher, and he's got a church. So I pull on the side of the road. I'm talking to him while he's in Baltimore, working for me. And if I go down the road another 3 blocks, my phone's not going to work. So I pull on the side to finish talking to him when here comes the Maryland State Police. I got the phone, this is before Bluetooth, I got the phone up to my head. Because he lights me up. He sees my hand on my head with the phone. He comes up, what are you doing? I'm on the phone. Why are you on the phone? Because I'm talking to a man. Who you talking to? I said, my preacher, that's who I'm talking to, my priest. He says, what are you, a wise guy? I said, I got $100 in my pocket, says I am. You want to put up or shut up or leave me alone? And he just looks at me, right? So I just rolled the window up and kept on talking. He left. But anyway, so I'm at the bank here, and the cop comes back. It's Mike Cooper. And he comes back to the car, and like I say, I'm sitting there all lit up, and nobody wants to be watched. And being watched is a form of, what would be a good word? Being watched is like being studied, like your privacy is getting taken away from you a little bit. That's what being watched is your privacy's being invaded. So, like I said, when the cop comes up, he wants to know, do I work here? What am I doing? Instead of just coming up and saying, sir, is everything okay? I'd have said, yeah, I'm just on the phone here talking to my friend, and then I'm going to use the bank machine and go home. No, you're a suspect. You were a suspect because you were in a car. So anyway, he's got a pad in his hand. At first I thought it was a ticket book. So he says to me, what's your phone number? I said, what? He said, what's your phone number? And when he said that, Bobby's talking in my ear. He's saying, tell him you're married. You don't date male policemen. So I got to hold myself from laughing. I says, why do you need my phone number? And he says, 'cause I need it. I said, well, I don't have a phone. I'm talking on the phone. He knows it. I'm telling him I don't have a phone. So he keeps writing. I says, what are you writing there? He says, this is a report documenting that you're on this bank and what time it is and who you are and everything. And if this bank is held up tomorrow, we're going to come see you. You're going to be the first person that we interrogate for this bank holdup if it happens tomorrow. Can you believe that, ladies and gentlemen? Barney Fife wouldn't do nothing this stupid. So anyway, I says, basically, you're documenting me, so I got the camera on the dashboard. Now I grab the camera and stick it where it's right on him. I said, I want to document you stopping me for talking on the telephone. And man, he don't like it. When that camera hit him, he didn't know what to do. He melted. He didn't know what to do. So he puts his pad in front of the camera, I move the camera. He moves the pad, I move the camera, back and forth like that, right? So anyway, when you put these cops on video, and they know they're on video, they don't like it. They don't mind watching you, pushing you around, because they got the authority. But when you put it on them, they don't know what to do. And that's what this guy does. So if he thinks I'm suspicious, okay, because I'm sitting on this bank lot, why didn't both of them cops come over? Why just this one? What's suspicious about being on a parking lot, 11:30 at night, that has a bank on it that's open 24/7 for the public's use? How can that be suspicious? And now, if I am the bad guy, when I seen him pull up next door, I'd have left. But I'm sitting there with my headlights on. And what it is, it's remember when you was in school and 4th grade or something like that, there was always that guy that asked the teacher a question. But he knew the answer anyway. He's just asking a question to ask a question. Well, that's how a lot of these cops are. They pull you over, and they're going to make it into whatever they want to make it into. But if you don't play ball with them, you can wind up with drugs in your pocket that weren't there when they stopped you. Or like my man, get threatened to have your face bashed in. Now, this guy here, he was totally neutralized when I put the camera on him. And like I say, go to Pete Richter videos on the YouTube and watch it. And if I'm telling a lie, somebody call me up and tell me this. But like I said, this is right across the street from the Annapolis Mall. And about a couple of years ago, same bunch of police, not the exact person, but the same police department. I told the story here how I went to a state senator for help on this corruption that's going on in Queen Anne's County. And instead of helping me, he sends the Maryland State Police after my business, try to run me out of business, and I caught him. And I filed criminal charges against this senator and a state police sergeant. And my complaint was sustained by Detective Christy Meekin, and told me that we sustained your complaint, you'll be happy with the results. Well, the politics got involved. The next week I get a letter that nobody did nothing wrong and I'm not entitled to copies of the reports. Whatever happened to the Freedom of Information Act, people? Try to get something on these cops or these politicians, you'll see what happens. So when that happened, I painted swastikas on my car, painted this senator's name on my car, pasted a 4-page letter that I wrote to the governor about the corruption, and I painted my phone number on the car, and I parked it in the same exact spot where this senator parks a pickup truck. Vote for him. Well, needless to say, the politics get involved. They tow my car away while it's parked legally. They want me to pay a ransom of $100 to get my own car back. I refuse. So they wind up crushing my car into scrap metal. I got a lawsuit case in federal court on that one right now. So anyway, to make a long story short, as soon as they took my car and crushed it, took it out of my possession and wanted me to pay the ransom, I painted the same stuff on my van. Big blue van with windows, window van. And I put the swastikas on there, vote for the senator, put my phone number on there, the letters and all. And I started riding around advertising, and it's legal. So this particular night where they're trying to steal my camera from me, this is what happens. My wife's working at this Annapolis Mall. So one of the burglars is a dope addict. My house was burglarized by the neighbors. Sheriff said they did it and wouldn't do nothing about it. That's another story. But anyway, I'm at this mall to meet my wife. She's getting off at 10 o'clock, and one of the dope addicts was in the mall peeping at her, like looking and staring at her. So when she told me, I said, I'll be over there. And the only thing I had to drive at the time was this van with these swastikas on it, vote for the senator. And he had already sent the mall guards after my wife because she had to go to work with it, and she needed that vehicle. She took it. And the newspapers even said that this senator had the mall cops come after me. So anyway, when my wife comes out, there must be 10 guards over there. I drive over to pick her up, and one of them lunges into my van, brushes by me, that's an assault, and tries to take the camera out of my head. All on video. Pete Richter videos on the YouTube. Look it up, you'll see this one too. So anyway, to make a long story short, here's the video. The guy trying to rob me, they charged me with assaulting him and wouldn't let me charge the guard. Unbelievable. This is supposed to be the United States. This stuff ain't supposed to happen. So a year later, after this episode, we're going to go to the movies over at this Annapolis Mall. And I go in to get the brochure. My wife had a fractured ankle at the time, and I don't want her to walk if she didn't have to. And I go in to get the brochure. There's the guard that tried to assault and rob me. And without stopping, I walked by him, and I said, how you doing? I'm going to see you in federal court one day. And I just keep on walking. Man, they get on the phones, everything else. They got to watch it, and they don't know what to do. So my gas light came on. There's a gas station off the mall property across the road. So I go over to get gas. Here comes these Anne Arundel County police again, telling me I'm barred from the mall. I said, I'm not barred from no mall. And they don't know how to handle themselves, these guys. It's just unbelievable. So you'll see that video on there also. Pete Richter videos on the YouTube. And if I'm lying, call me up and tell me. I hope some state police calls me up, or sort of judge or somebody calls me up on the show. Because what I'm telling is the truth. And it's all on video. Don't go anywhere without a video camera, people. Especially if you're young. Especially if you're out late at night. And especially if you're a black guy with a white girl, or vice versa. Or, you're got your grandfather's Cadillac and you look like you're 17 years old, you're going to be pulled over. Have that video camera. That's your only protection. And even with the video, you fight in City Hall, and it's really tough when you fight City Hall. And like I say, I got the videos to prove it, and what I'm telling you is the truth. And if Officer Mike Cooper's out there, call us up and tell us about what his bank holdup that you caught because he was casing the bank at night. Unbelievable. You're going to case a bank. You want to case it in the daytime. What time is there's certain, what's the most crowded time? Where do the employees park their cars? Where are the cameras? This kind of stuff is what you want to know if you're going to hold up a bank. You're not going to hold the bank up in the daytime by casing it at night, because at night there's nobody there, the bank's locked up. But then again, I don't think these cops are trained right, and I think that's the biggest problem. People think I don't like cops. Man, I love cops when I find one. But these hot dogs they got today aren't cops. Pete Richter, take a little break and let's come back. Pete Richter, the old retired cop, coming back to you up here at Liberty Works Radio Network. And the phone number, 410-848-9191. And I'm hoping that some state police or Anne Arundel County police calls me up and wants to tell me I'm wrong. And if you do call, you're going to get a pretty little girl answer the phone. And her name is Jane Doe. She don't tell nobody who she is. Nobody. You want to get her name, rank, and serial number, you probably have to torture her because she don't give anybody her name. It's Jane Doe. End of story. Anyway, like I say, the stuff I'm talking about, I'm on the YouTube there with this. Pete Richter Videos. Richter. And I tell you, here's another thing you might want to get a kick out of. I got a website that's still up because I ran for sheriff in crooked Queen Anne's County. I spent less than $600. Guy that won spent around $70,000. What's that tell you? Anyway, you computer guys know how to do this, but I'm going to say this for us grandfathers out there that ain't computer guys. You got to put this there first. HTTP double dot 2// www.Pete Richter for sheriff, all one word. Pete Richter for sheriff, all one word. .com. And I got 4 songs I wrote on there about watermen down Eastern Shore on Chesapeake Bay. And I'm singing the songs, playing guitar with a mandolin player and an old upright bass player. So go to that website. If you like the way it's set up, that girl that set it up for me, man, she's really good. And you can get her name on that website. And really does a good job. And she's reasonable when it comes to prices. I got a lot of things I could talk about up here. And we could talk about the police shooting dogs. But they give you the highlight here. Cop shoots dog dead after raiding the wrong house. He raids the wrong house. The dog comes up, bites him. He shoots and kills the dog. The dog's doing his job. You got to know where you're going. They don't even know where they're going. They're raiding houses. Here's another one. This one here is terrible. A mayor. A little town, Gainesville, Berwyn Heights, Maryland, Berwyn Heights, Maryland. They got a mayor there, this little town. And the drug dealers have a scheme with the UPS. What they do is they know what box has the drugs in it. So they have it delivered to a house where nobody's home. And the UPS guy, usually leaves the package there on the steps or on the porch. And they'll pick the right house. Well, here comes the package. The police are watching, and the mayor just happens to be home, and it's it's addressed to his wife. Now the mayor's not a drug dealer, neither his wife. Neither one of them are drug dealers. They're just using his address. So the mayor just happens to be home with his mother-in-law when the package is delivered. UPS guy pulls away. Mayor goes out and grabs the package and takes it in his house. Here comes the stormtroopers kicking his door down at gunpoint, shoot and kill his dogs. He's got 2 dogs there. They shoot and kill the dogs, make the mother-in-law and him lay on the ground, blood all over the place. And bad search, bad seizure, bad everything. But that mayor, I think he can give up politics because after that lawsuit case, he's going to be making a lot of money. But here's one I'm going to talk about right now. You got communist Russia had the motherland, Nazi Germany had the fatherland, and the United States has got the homeland. So I don't know if they're all working the same way, but that's kind of scary when you think of it that way. But anyway, listen to this one. Sarasota, Florida. There's a housing project. A lot of drugs in this housing project. And they sell crack cocaine and marijuana. And the name of this complex is Mediterranean Apartments in a little town called Newton right in Sarasota, Florida. So anyway, the cops say, we can't catch these bad guys because every time we come, they run away. And then they go and hide in their houses or wherever they hide, and we can't catch them. And by the way, everybody that lives there is a bad guy. Everybody that lives there is a bad guy. Anybody that walks on that property is a bad guy. So with some screwball state's attorney, they go see a judge and get a no-name warrant, giving them the authority to stop and search anybody that sets foot on this complex property. Ain't that what King George was doing to our people a long time ago? We wouldn't stand for it. Well, Sarasota, Florida, This area called Newton, this is what the state's attorney, the judges, and the police are doing. So, sure, you're going to get some bad guys, but you're going to get a lot of people that aren't bad. They grabbed one guy, 80 years old. They charge people with running from the police. Running from the police. If you live in them neighborhoods, you better run when the cops come, because you don't know what they're going to put in your pocket. And the story I told about my friend being stopped at getting his lottery, after he got his lottery ticket, he knows people in that neighborhood. He's been around there a good while. And the decent people in the neighborhood, the decent people, especially the older ones, they'll tell you that they're afraid to come out of their house at night. And they're afraid of the police and the drug dealers. When I was a kid, you lived on the street. My grandfather, who was a Spanish-American war veteran, lived in 1100 block of North Patterson Park Avenue. He had marble steps, and he'd bring the chairs out when the evening after evening dinner and everything. And I lived around the corner. I'd go up and sit on the front with my grandfather, and my grandmother would be there, and we had uncles and aunts, and everybody walked up and down the street and said hi to. If the ball game was on, you could walk all through East Baltimore and never miss an inning, because somebody's sitting outside their house with a radio on. You could hear the ball game. And you got the news of the whole neighborhood by sitting out front. Well, in this neighborhood now in Baltimore City, you're afraid to come out of your house. And the decent people will tell you they're afraid of the police and the drug dealers. Man, it shouldn't be that way, but it is. And, these state's attorneys got to have more sense in this. It's just unbelievable, the stuff that they do. Lock you up for running. It's like unbelievable. I think in New York it might be a law that says if the police call your name and you run, that's a crime. That's a crime. Well, what if you're deaf? I'll tell you, here's a true story. Milton and Preston. That corner was so bad they had to put a call box there in the old days. It wasn't a call box there. They purposely put one there because we had so many lockups in that area. And we were told, keep them corners clean. Well, there's a bus stop there, but where the call box is, and this, I won't mention his name, but this police comes by, and there's a gang of them on the corner. Well, when they see you, the ones that don't want any trouble will leave. But some of them don't. So the police officer comes up, and he's walking up the street, going to use the call box, and a couple of them stay on the corner. So he tells them, guys ain't waiting for the bus, man, take a walk. So they all leave but one. And the one that stays there turns around and looks at the police and turns his back on him again. And the police says, hey, you, I'm talking to you. Hey, I'm talking to you. Well, the guy don't move, right? All he did was give that police a dirty look and look. So the guy's got his back to the cop. The cop goes over, grabs him by the shoulder. That guy cold-cocked that cop, knocked him right on his butt. The man was deaf, and he was waiting for the bus to go to work. And the cop didn't know it, so just because you're running don't mean you can hear. And let me talk. I won't have time tonight, but I'll get on this one another time. They had the Maryland State Police a couple years ago raided the block in Baltimore. Now, I'm saying Baltimore for you people that don't live here. We call it Baltimore. But anyway, what is the block? Okay, and here's what the block is. 400 block of East Baltimore Street had all the strip clubs. They had a burlesque house called the Gaiety Bar. And Red Skelton played there, Jackie Gleason, all them old-time funny men played this Gaiety. Blaze Starr, Gypsy Rose Lee, they were all there. And the place is loaded, with these strip joints, bar rooms, and pinball places. And one of the famous places was Pollock Johnny's. And people would come from all around the city after 2 o'clock in the morning when the bars closed. They'd go down the block and get a Pollock Johnny hot dog with mustard and raw onions and a Coke and stand there and watch the action. So here's another tidbit for you people. The police station's in the 500 block. Police headquarters is right there where all these strip places are. Well, the mayor, former mayor, a guy named Schaefer, he's the governor at the time, and we got a mayor named Kurt Smoke. Kurt Smoke had enough guts a long time ago to say, you want to stop the drug problem, legalize it. So anyway, what happens here is the block is getting raided by the Maryland State Police. They finally found out there's the block, we're going to go get them. 500 state police, 500 of them. That's 1/3 of their force converge on the block. And just like that no-name warrant down there in Florida, if you were walking up the street, they'd grab you and handcuff you. And man, it was a real mess. But let me tell you a little bit about the block, what I know about the block. When I was a kid, I'd go up to YMCA and work out and box and everything. The boxing instructor was a guy named Lee Halfpenny, and I went to his son was in my class, and all the old time fighters from Baltimore. One of them, Pete Galliano, that a lot of people remember his name. They'd be up at the Y in the daytime. Another old time fighter was a guy named Sylvan Bass. And, I was big as a kid, and they'd like to spar with a guy like me. They wouldn't hurt you, but they wanted you to try to hit them. you couldn't hit them guys, and they were 60 years old dead. And anyway, they were on the block as doormen, these old fighters that would come up there. They all knew Lee Halfpenny. He was the boxing instructor up there at the YMCA. Well, when I was a kid, I can remember going downtown with Clifton Luber, and I probably 7, 8 years old, get on a bus, go downtown, go to movies, do things. You can't do it today, but you could when I was a kid. But anyway, when we went to the movies and we come home on the bus, you go through the block. So you'd always be looking to see if one of them doors was open. You might see some girl in there, dancing, and like, wow, big deal. So in them days, you had to be 21 to drink, but you could go into the Gaiety Theater at 18. So, when I went downtown with Clifton, we were real little, but as I got older, I moved out of East Baltimore, went out further towards the county a little bit. I was hanging around with a guy named Paul Tice. And we were both big for our age. So I'm like 14, 15 now. We go downtown to the movies. Instead of waiting for the bus in front of the movies, we walk down the block. And we'd run into them doormen that were the old boxers and stuff, right? So we talked to them, and we'd be peeking in the door, hope we see something. And one of them said, "You ever been to the Gaiety?" We said, "No, we ain't old enough to go in there." He said, "You're big enough. What you do, this is what you do. You get a stub off the ground. When the guy comes out for intermission, use that stub and go back in." And lo and behold, I did that. And me and Paul Tice went in and seen our first striptease show when we were about 15 years old. And we're running out of time here, but I'm going to finish this story on the block next week. God bless America, and if that's politically incorrect, too bad. This is our country. We got to save it. Pete Richter signing off. Camera's on. Stay on the phone, Bob.
How you doing?
All right.
You work here?
No.
All right. Are you waiting for someone?
No.
All right. Well, don't sit on the bank parking lot.
I'm going to go to the bank.
Okay. Well, you've been here for a while.
I'm on the telephone.
Okay. Look, don't get angry with me. I'm coming here checking on you because the bank is closed.
Well, you're standing behind me. How do I know you can hear me? I can't even see you. I'm on the telephone. I'm going to go to the bank. I seen you over there.
Okay. Well, don't spend too much time here. You look suspicious, and because the bank's closed. People case banks at this time.
You can go take a picture of the bank in the daytime and case it all night long, dude.
Okay. What I'm telling you is don't spend too much time here. If you need to go to the bank, go to the bank, but don't sit here in the parking lot.
When I get off the phone, I'm going to the bank and then I'm leaving. Okay?
All right. You have your ID with you?
Sure. What did I do wrong?
Let me see your ID.
Tell me what I did wrong.
Sir, a police officer is asking for your ID, so give him your ID.
Am I free to go or am I being detained?
Right now you're being detained because I want your ID.
And you want my ID because I'm talking on the telephone.
Because you're on a bank parking lot.
So
when
what? They got a bank machine there, man. You knew that.
All right. Well, if you want to argue, then that's fine.
Argue? I'm not arguing with you.
Well, that's exactly what you're doing. Still living in Queen Anne's County? Same address?
Yeah. When did we come to spend it? Now, what did you get out of that so far? Right. Now he's back at his car. Right. I'm gonna put my camera up there so you can see the fucking thing. Looking at him. Let me see. That's good. Don't give him a hard time. Don't stay here too long. Now see, I got my. It's in Anne Arundel County. I'm sitting by this Fuddruckers. They're in another shopping center. I mean, you can't just drive over there. I'm about 60, 70 feet from the bank building, sitting in my car with the headlights on. Now, like I'm going to be casing the bank with him standing there. With him over there, I'm casing the bank. I could be casing the bank at night. Does that make sense to you? Right. Right, exactly. Exactly. But well, probably can't. Because I'm suspicious. Well, because I'm on the bank lot and it's closed. Exactly. Right, exactly. Right. Right. Exactly. Right. They're too much, I tell you. Make sure my camera's still running. I'll leave it around the dash pointing his way. But this is the shit you've got to put up with if you're out late at night. Yeah, it's got time, date, everything. And he's going to tell me something like, like, get out of here. You don't belong here. Case in the bank. Like I can't come up here in the daytime and take a pic. Exactly. Exactly. That's the way I see it too.
What is a phone number for you, sir?
What?
What is a phone number for you? It could be a cell phone or a home phone. Any way to get in contact with you?
What do you need my phone number for?
Because I need your phone.
Well, I don't have a phone.
You don't have a phone? Okay.
What's that you're writing up?
It's going to say that you were here at this place at this time at this bank, and if the bank gets hit, you're going to be one of the suspects.
Okay, now, can I have your name?
Officer Cooper.
All right, yeah, let me get a picture of you, Cooper.
No, you're not.
Okay, now, you stop me because I'm at the bank. I tell you I'm on the phone. You're over there. You can see me from over there.
Sir.
I'm sitting here with my lights on, ain't doing nothing.
Sir.
And what?
Listen.
What?
You're being checked out because the bank is closed.
Well, the bank's got a 24-hour machine on it.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Well, like I said, you're being documented. You're here at this point.
Well, I'm documenting you stopped me for nothing.
You're not stopped. You were already stopped.
Right. And I was over here while the whole time you were over there. You pulled up and I was there.
Okay.
If I'm the bad guy, I would have left.
All right. You have a good day.
You have.
Okay.
Yeah, and you went in there and left your car running too. Go call your supervisor. Put the camera in his face. He didn't know what to do. Huh? No, he gave me my license back. Wait a minute. No, he's still behind me. I'm gonna leave that camera on.